What's going on, everybody? Ben the Realtor AZ here. Thank you for tuning into my channel today. And man, oh man, my house got hit pretty hard by those 2021 monsoon storms that wreaked havoc all over the valley. You guys got to stay tuned because I'm going to give you footage, background, and history on monsoon storms in Phoenix, Arizona.
It's the most dangerous time of the year to live in the valley. Blistering heat, blinding dust storms, damaging winds, and flooding rain. It's monsoon mayhem every summer. ABC 15 is taking action to keep you and your family safe with the most accurate forecast and the power of ABC 15 Desert Doppler, sweeping the state to track those storms. Now, the ABC 15 Monsoon Special. Destruction in the desert.
This way! Come here! Mason, get away from the windows now! Get away!
Scottsdale and Lincoln right now. This area just north of Old Town hit incredibly hard by those strong winds. Looks like, a hurricane came through. We've seen everything from small twigs like this to massive trees completely uprooted that needed multiple chainsaws to be cut down. In New River, 2 delivery truck drivers finding out the hard way just how quickly areas can flood.
It was a Schwann's truck that attempted to go through it and stalled out.
Jamie Rhodes watching from her front yard.
We couldn't get out for a while.
As MCSO deputies gently glided their helicopter
on the roof of the truck. It was amazing. Like, I can't even tell you how cool it was.
Cool, yet jarring. Fortunately, the only thing lost there was the truck's engine. Across the valley, people losing power and Priuses.
And so many of you at home help us tell the story when these storms roll through. Our Justin Pizzera put together some of the images sent in by our ABC 15 viewer.
Here in the valley, strong winds and rain. Jennifer Johnson sending us this video from 75th Avenue and Cactus. Across the valley in Gold Canyon, the wind was not letting up. The National Weather Service clocked a wind gust of 73 miles an hour in Queen Creek. The wind causing power outages and extensive damage across the valley. The wind too much for this tree to stand against in Phoenix. And we can't really tell what Rose the pig is thinking in Glendale, but either way, she knows what Monsoon 2021 can do.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Smash up that like button, hit the subscribe button, and definitely hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so you just saw the previous videos and the havoc that was wreaked all over the valley the night before. Okay, so that night, this is the next day, I was at Home Depot. Now, that night, I was up late. I was at my home office getting ready for an inspection the next day out in Maricopa. Sending some emails and finalizing a few things, just making sure I had everything right before I headed out in the morning. Now, I heard a lot of noise and then I heard a lot of wind and then my power went out and came back on. So I went to go look outside and I saw the rain, I saw the wind. I was like, oh yeah, we're in monsoon season for sure this time, because the previous few years, it really wasn't that bad. And this was the worst one we had since 2014. Now, my trampoline, I actually saw it go airborne about 15 to 20 feet to the sky. Luckily, my neighbor has pine trees next door, and I put it in a corner in my backyard that it did come back down. So I headed to Home Depot to get some cinder block to hold my trampoline down. Check out this footage.
I lost my tree, y'all. Fell into my neighbor's pool, and I'm worried about my trampoline, because I just don't know if it can make it through this wind. More rain now, but I don't know. I lost my tree, ripped half the brick wall. I don't know. My neighbor lost his tree. I lost mine. Man, tough night.
Yeah, it was a tough night to see my tree go down. So definitely in Arizona, you want to make sure that you got your homeowner insurance intact. You want to make sure you've got a really good home warranty as well, especially in situations like these. You're going to have a deductible, and you can either pay out of pocket or go with your homeowner's insurance. Just depends. All right, so came to Home Depot, get some cinder block to hold that trampoline. As you guys saw at night, when I saw that tree go down, my neighbor's tree actually snapped in half as well, and his pine trees looked like they weren't going to make it. I really thought maybe one or two of those things were gonna give, but they held steady. I don't know if those trees will make it through another storm. So anyways, guys, I had a home inspection to go to, so this is actually post the home inspection before I headed back to Queen Creek, Santan Valley area. So I had to, of course, I get a lot of buckets, just a side note, for my pellets, because I smoke on a pellet grill, and I usually keep all my pellets in Home Depot or Lowe's buckets whenever I go to those hardware stores. Now, this was a crazy storm. Like I said, I had a home inspection. You could see that video on my channel. That storm actually damaged a window on that house, and we saw it, and we ended up getting it fixed as well before my client moved into that house. All right, and then actually the next day I had a open house to prepare for, and I had to cancel the open house because when I arrived to the house, there was a huge tree that blocked the entire driveway and the front door, so we had to cancel as well. But anyways, here's a little history on monsoon storms in Arizona and what to do. Check these videos out.
Here is Chief Meteorologist Amber Sullins.
The monsoon is here, and so are all the threats that come with it. Monster haboobs, powerful lightning, and dangerous flash flooding. It's now time to take action and get ready for another stormy summer.
Last year's monsoon was one for the record books.
Basically, I've never seen anything quite like this before in all my years in Arizona.
I-10 completely flooded out and shut down for hours.
As we arrived here, it was a complete ocean.
It wasn't just any monsoon. It was a monsoon on Pacific tropical storm steroids. And with a weak El Nino in effect right now, there's a chance it could happen again. The monsoon is not a storm itself. It's a seasonal shift in our winds that causes storms to form. Southerly winds bring moisture in from the eastern Pacific Ocean, the Gulf of California, and the Gulf of Mexico. And when we have tropical storms or hurricanes down near the Baja Peninsula, we tap into those too. Then our intense summer heat causes all of that moisture to rise, producing powerful thunderstorms. Those storms bring lightning, strong winds, massive dust storms, heavy rain, hail, and flash flooding. We'll get bursts of activity and then breaks from it for days at a time. The monsoon season officially begins June 15th, but we typically have to wait until early July for our atmosphere to moisten up enough to get rain here in the valley. Then storms are fair game until the end of September.
There's a microburst right there, mates. This is hail coming down. You can see it. Look on the farm out there. Quick. Come here, look. It's giant pieces of hail. Look at the farm out there. See it? Birds are not happy with that. Birds are definitely not happy with that. That's hail. Here it comes, getting closer. Oh yeah, look at that tree. Holy moly. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's This way! Come here! Mason, get away from the windows now! Get away! Stay here! She'll be okay. She'll be okay. Shit. Hold that.
Wow, that was pretty intense, and he saved the dog as well. All right, so this is my backyard. As you can see, that tree, that was a perfect shade tree for my house, and it goes all the way up to the top of my roof. So it goes up pretty high, and that was a big tree that fell down into my neighbor's backyard into the pool. So that tree was gone. I was actually planning on planting about 6, 7, 8 trees around the sides and to the back of that wall. I was already speaking with the nursery that was close by here in Mesa, and thank God I didn't, because I would have wasted a lot of money if I planted those trees, and that storm would have wreaked havoc and tore them all down anyway. So I'm rethinking what I'm going to do to the backside of my backyard, because I'm not going to invest that much into trees after this happened, as you can see. But here's some more footage of that night as well. See, when the lightning and the thunder goes, you'll see there's a tree that fell down. Rest in peace, tree. But I'm worried about my trampoline. Can't lose that trampoline. I knew I should have did something earlier, and I didn't do it. I'm gonna tie it down, and I'm worried about it. Hopefully the wind doesn't take it away, because I saw someone else's get taken away. Starting to flood a little bit.
As we wait for our atmosphere to moisten up, our storms start out dry. Not a lot of rain, but lots of wind. And all that wind leads to this: enormous dust storms that go viral online as people's jaws drop when they see them.
Massive dust storms or haboobs like this one are a very familiar sight here.
I do not want to be driving out right now.
Nobody wants to get caught out in one of these. It's bad enough just watching from indoors.
It was nuts. It's hard to see out the front window. You can barely see the house next door to you. So
most dust storms move in from the south, hitting places like Queen Creek, Chandler, and Ahwatukee first. And they pack a punch too. Winds sometimes over 50 miles an hour, which can easily down trees and power lines, making it dangerous for everyone. In an instant, the sun disappears and visibility drops as high winds from collapsing storms kick up massive amounts of dust, hitting at the worst possible time during the evening rush hour.
oh my God, you guys!
Right now, guys, all is calm. It's basically just 3 burnt trees. But if you were here around this time yesterday, those trees were a blazing inferno.
As a monsoon storm rolled in, bringing rain and wind, lightning set the night alight.
I could feel the heat just all over me.
Brick Allen was driving down Elliott Road in Gilbert when he saw a flash, an immediate clap of thunder, the vibrations rattling his car.
It was that close, it was just that powerful and intense.
What Brick saw next would stop him in his tracks.
And we actually saw the flames just engulfed it. We stopped. I stopped in the middle of the busy street to kind of see what was going on.
Just off the road, palm trees on fire from top to bottom, just a few yards from homes. Brick pulled over and started banging on doors, calling for people to get out.
But when I did look back, it was just complete shock. Like, he froze. He didn't know what to do.
Then Brick grabbed a little hose to try and keep the ground wet and keep the flames from spreading. Less than 5 minutes later, firefighters were on scene. And it was a similar story all across the valley, whether it be downed power lines and trees or a raging fire. First responders and folks were there.
Seeing that sense of community come together and feeling like all these people coming in and trying to figure out what they can do to help.
In this case, the firefighters got a little help, and Brick has a story to tell with a good outcome.
Personally, I'm going to take away the fact that I'm going to tell my kids that I was a fireman for a day.
Something you'll never forget?
Never forget.
Old Town Scottsdale's been hammered over the past 24 hours. There was a roof on that patio last night, but now it's spread out in the parking lot. This is the remaining debris, and people who were eating dinner inside Diego Pops say last night was terrifying.
Everyone was screaming, and the wind starts shaking so bad, and like bottles are being knocked down.
Crystal Wooler and her husband had a memorable anniversary,
This was all a roof earlier tonight.
but not one they're eager to repeat.
The whole restaurant is basically gone.
It was closed Friday, as employees had other issues to worry about.
All the servers went to go check their cars, and they were in the bottom floor of the garage, like underground, and it was flooded. And so they saw a car got floated away, they said.
People across the valley spending the day calling insurance, tree removal services, tow trucks, and in some cases 911. And in the coming days, many are ready to see the water subside and their sheds stay put. Zach Crenshaw, ABC 15, Arizona.
Meantime, crews are out in Scottsdale just trying to get the power back on for some people. There were thousands of people without power at some point during the night here, and they've been working all night and into the day just trying to get it restored for some people.
We thought we were coming to the desert for 4 or 5 days of total sunshine, and here we are.
Kathy McGrath and her daughters in town from Chicago were not prepared for this.
Weather alarms going off and trees being uprooted and thunder and lightning and rain. Welcome to Scottsdale.
Even the locals surprised to see how much damage the storm left behind. Dave Wade has been in Scottsdale for almost 30 years.
It's crazy. I've never seen it quite like this many power lines, this many strapped down trees and power lines and power poles. It's crazy.
Some Scottsdale neighborhoods got more than 3 inches of rain in 24 hours. The National Weather Service recorded up to 56-mile-per-hour wind speeds. The result, trees uprooted and snapped, some falling on roadways and even cars. This on Scottsdale Road and Thomas.
Super scary. I have kids in my apartment.
Jessica Mendoza and others in South Scottsdale had water damage in their apartments. Down the street at another complex, we found a carport destroyed.
Houses, apartments, I don't think we're ready for anything like this.
And all over the city, roads closed due to flooding.
Caught on camera. Lightning decimating this tree in Cave Creek. Showing the power of Friday's storms, knocking down power lines in Scottsdale.
I says, when am I going to get power back on? And she says, at 1:58 in the morning.
Luckily, Scottsdale resident Bob Rabb didn't have to wait that long for APS to restore power after a storm to remember.
We had more rain in the last day and a half here than we've had in the last 3 years.
APS says 9 power poles in total were knocked down.
With a 5-man crew, we could replace 1 power pole in roughly 8 hours.
At the peak of the power outages, 8,000 people were without. APS says if you see a down power line, stay back.
When the power lines do fall on the ground, they can be in multiple states. We would just like the public to treat all of them as energized.
Adam Waltz, ABC 15, Arizona.
So 6 of these new steel poles will be going up. And again, though, the process will be lengthy. They hope to have those poles up by tomorrow morning, but they won't have power restored back to normal till maybe tomorrow night. So just be patient. And also, if you can, avoid Scottsdale Road from McDonald to Lincoln. Only one lane of traffic going northbound is open, but as you can see, traffic is barely moving. So if I were you, I would give the crews their space and avoid Scottsdale Road if you can.
Pull aside, stay alive.
What we want to do is take that to a next level, and that's going to be communicating with drivers in other states. Have drivers who are planning to travel through Arizona know what to do.
If you get caught in a dust storm, here's what you need to do. Pull as far off the road to the right as possible. Take your foot off the brake and turn your lights off. You don't want other drivers to see your lights and follow them, assuming that's the way to safety. Stay in your car and wait until the dust clears and visibility improves before heading back out on the road.
Bottom line, you should never try to drive through the dust. Remember, pull aside, stay alive. That's right. We've seen far too many deadly accidents out there. You just gotta play it safe. Thanks, Iris. Remember, the early part of the monsoon can be the most brutal.
All right, you guys, I hope all of that information was very informative for you when it comes to monsoon season in Arizona. Just like the Midwest has tornado season, and just like the East Coast and Florida has hurricane season, you definitely want to be aware of what to do and where not to go. Especially, I advise, if you're hiking in the summertime, be very aware that these microbursts happen out of nowhere. Okay, and if you're hiking and you're near a wash and flash flood warnings, look at those signs. You don't want to be anywhere near where a flash flood can just come wipe you away. It has, taken away people, unfortunately, through the years. Definitely. So back to the tree, the solution of what happened. I thought I could, take my trimmer out, because I usually trim my bushes and some of my trees and branches and stuff like that myself. That wasn't going to do the job. I needed a chainsaw, and that tree was, the video does not do it justice of how big that tree is. That thing goes right over the top of the roof of my house. That's how tall that tree is, a big shade tree for my house. Fortunately, it's sad to lose that tree, but it did do some serious damage. I had to get my neighbor's pool clean and get all the debris out of there. As you can see, I got my guy out there doing his hard work. Did not have to pay anything, free of charge from the homeowner's insurance. And also make sure when you're purchasing your house, your home warranty, you're covered on all angles, and your homeowner's insurance, you're covered on all angles. Okay, so great for the city of Phoenix and Metro, neighbors helping out. I mean, it was destruction everywhere. Trampolines were everywhere. Trees were all over the roads. Trees were everywhere, going through walls as well. So I wasn't the only one, but I'm glad it didn't do more damage than what it could have done. All right, you guys, thank you for watching this video. Like it if you love it. Share it if you love it. I'm out. See you on the next one.